Hi, I'm Ben Felder, News Director of the Piedmont Citizen and PiedmontDaily.com, and joining me is the Citizen Sports Editor, Ben Schuff. And Ben, this week we've been talking about the wrestlers headed to the state tournament this week for Piedmont. 6 wrestlers, a school record, going to the state tournament that starts on Friday. Earlier this week we've looked at 4. Now we're going to look at the last 2 wrestlers. We're going to start with Blane Culp, who's wrestling in the 160-pound weight class. Tell us a little bit about Blane.
Yeah, Blane has been Piedmont's top wrestler pretty much throughout the entire season. He's #1 seed from the east side of the bracket heading into the state tournament. Very confident right now, and rightfully so. 36-2 overall, very impressive record. Got a big win over Culp of Deer Creek to begin the season. That was a big confidence booster for him, was what he said earlier. And really, ever since then, it's just kind of steamrolled through his competition. Like I said, he's 36-2. One of his only losses came from an illegal slam at the Cushing tournament, so it wasn't exactly, obviously counts as a loss in the win-loss column, but wasn't it like he got pinned or something like that. So obviously, probably one of the Piedmont wrestlers has the best chance to win state this weekend. Yeah,
and here's Blane talking a little bit more about preparing for the state tournament this weekend.
What do you remember from state last year, and what do you feel like you can take from last year's experience to help you this year?
Last year, I was just real nervous at state because it was a new atmosphere, and now that I think about it, it's just another tournament. It's just tougher, but it's just another tournament, nothing to really be nervous about.
What I know I talked to you a little bit about this over the weekend, but your confidence right now.
Right now,
how has it built throughout this course of this season?
I started wrestling Pacheco, my confidence started, and then throughout the year it just kept rising because of all the wins I got. My record now is 36-2, and that's a pretty good record for a junior. And next year my confidence, my goals are going to be higher because the confidence level is going to be risen, and I'm just good. It's still the same thing, even though I'm might be a little cocky going to the state tournament. Still got to go out there and wrestle the same.
All right, well, the final wrestler that we have to talk about, Ben, is Brody Largent. He's competing in the 170 weight class, and tell us a little bit about Brody as a wrestler.
Brody has bounced around a lot this year between 170, 180, and 195-pound weight classes, kind of doing whatever the team needs him to do. Whether it be wrestling at a 170 lower class or at a higher weight class, depending on what the team needed at a duel or a tournament. He's kind of had success at a couple of different levels. Got a big win earlier in the season at a tournament against a kid from Chickasha named Josh Latham, really solid wrestler. And that was a big confidence booster for him, was one of the things that he mentioned. But 170 pounds is where Largent said he's most comfortable at. He's wrestling really well right now. Piedmont's head coach Eric Ford said that he was one of the wrestlers that had one of the better tournaments at the regional tournament this past weekend. So he seems to kind of have a little bit of momentum going into state this weekend.
Yeah, and here's a little bit more of your conversation with Brody earlier this week.
You've kind of bounced around weight classes a lot.
Yeah.
This year. Yeah. 170, 180, 192 sometime, or 195, I mean.
Yeah.
Talk about what has that been like for you?
It's been tough sometimes, but easier than others. We don't have a whole lot of weights. We don't have a whole lot of bigger weights, so it's more of an experiment to let other kids wrestle in the lower weights and bump me up to wrestle their tougher kids. It's just fun.
Have you learned anything about yourself as a wrestler, just kind of going wherever the team needs you? And
it just gives me more confidence when you get a big win when you bump up a weight, or it just helps me with my confidence level a lot.
Okay. Is 170 where you feel like you're most comfortable at? Will you be at state?
Yes, I think 170 is where I'll do the best at state. So.
All right, well, that does it. A complete look at the 6 wrestlers that Piedmont is taking to the Class 5A State Tournament Championship this weekend. The action starts on Friday. Ben, you're going to be at the State Fairgrounds covering the state tournament all weekend long. Check in with PiedmontDaily.com for coverage this weekend. Pick up a copy of this week's Piedmont Citizen for more coverage and a more complete preview of the tournament this weekend. For Ben Schuff, I'm Ben Felder. We'll see you this weekend at the state tournament.